Hey guys, in this video we're going to show you how to put a end on a piece of RG-58 coaxial cable. We're using an ideal crimper or cutter, and the tool shows the direction that the coax needs to go into it. And here's our cutting knives. There's 3 cutting knives, so it's going to cut it for us nice and neat. There's adjustments on it to cut RG6, 59, and 58. So before you use this tool, you stick it in on the lower setting that fits in, which in this case is RG59. Now we rotate it 10 times with the RG59 setting, and then click it up to RG58, which is a smaller diameter wire, and go 10 more times. And that's going to prepare the wire. It's important that you hold it vertical for consistency. All right, here we go. Pop it off. That's what it should look like. So we got our center conductor, our dielectric, and then shielding, and then the outer insulation. You want to make sure you turn the ends so that you can crimp it onto your wire. In this case, we're using an Amphenol connector, and we'll just see how this goes. So the pin goes on. Well, I put the pins on with this connector with the Amphenol. This is going to be a bit of a blooper. It did not want to work. These orange radial BNC crimpers, they didn't want to crimp it quite right. I used it on the right setting. First I crimped it on the higher setting by accident, but didn't do anything to it. Here's the crimp set, and it fails the pull test. So whenever you put a connector on, you should give it a little tug, pop. What the heck is going on there? It released. So the pin let go of the center, and it shouldn't have done that. It should pull off the wire, if anything. And yeah, that's not a good scenario. So the center pin should stay attached at all times, and it should be able to support the strength of the wire if the crimp is done properly. But for some reason, the internal mechanism that locks that pin is let go. Also, the outer shielding crimp should be as strong as the coaxial cable, and it released as well. So complete failure on this Amphenol style connector. So I dug in the cupboard and we came up with some multi-comp connectors that are going to work better the next go around here. So the crimp diameter just wasn't quite right. It was enough for the center conductor pin, but not enough for the outer shielding where it crimps onto the connector itself. So here we go. We're going to do this all over again. We got our ideal BNC cutting tool, and we put it in the right direction. Make sure there's no debris in the inside of it before you put it on. It may take you a few times to adjust this tool. There's 3 knives in there that need adjusting. So we set it to RG59, give it 10 turns. Set it to RG58, click, give it 10 turns. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And pull it out, and again, it did a nice job. This takes about 15 minutes to set up the tool. Next thing you want to do is spread that, well, in this case, we're going to go straight to putting the crimp on. So we're grabbing our connector out. This is a multi-comp unit, and that seems to just match with our other crimper. We did solve that we had another crimper at our location that had a green handle, and it crimps just a little tighter, and then we didn't run into the failure that we ran into in the blooper earlier. So first step, make sure your coax cable is in where you want it, then slide the outer sleeve on first so that you don't forget it. Once you have that, you can put your pin on, and oh, I don't like the way that works. So what we're going to do, instead of struggling around with the connector there, well, what I do is since these crimpers have a ratcheting mechanism in it, they will stop the pin from going if you set it just right, the pin won't go all the way through, and that kind of holds it in place. Now the pin is still free to slide, so you can't hold it upside down, but there you go. Get the crimp bottomed out in there, squeeze the crimper till it releases, and you're ready to go to the next step. So if you're just going to install this, you got to be careful because you don't want any of the shielding wires to get caught underneath in where it can touch the center conductor. So just using a pick, I'm just spreading that slightly so that the connector can go in between the two, the dielectric in the center conductor insulation, and the shielding. You push it in until it clicks. You'll hear an audible click, and that's how you know that the pin has locked on. And then you slide your ferrule or the outer crimp onto it, making it nice and tidy. Make sure you use the right part of the crimping tool. And you squeeze that, and that's going to lock the shielding between the inner and outer right there. And you squeeze the crimpers all the way so that they release. Do a little pull test. There you go. That's how you do a BNC radial crimper on RG-58. Thanks and have a great day.